Once, there was a thief, born into a life of crime just like his father before him. Stealing wasn't just what they did, it was all they had ever known. As his father lay on his deathbed, he called his son close and said, "Son, I have spent my whole life stealing, and now you have followed the same path. But remember one thing, never step into a church, a place of worship, or anywhere people gather to speak of faith. If you do, you may never return to this way of life." The son took his father's words to heart, treating them as sacred advice. With that, his father took his last breath. From then on, the young man continued his life of crime, always careful to avoid any place of faith, just as his father had warned. One night, he broke into a house, picked the lock, and was about to steal from a cabinet when the homeowners woke up. "Thief! Thief!" they screamed, calling for help. The thief ran, his heart pounding as town guards chased him through the dark streets. He sprinted aimlessly, desperate to escape. Without realizing it, he burst through the doors of a community hall where a preacher was delivering a sermon. The moment he stepped inside, his father's warning echoed in his mind. Never enter a place of faith. But now he was trapped. The guards were still outside. He quickly sat at the back, hoping to go unnoticed. To block out the sermon, he covered his ears. But no matter how hard one tries to avoid something, the mind clings to what it isn't supposed to hear. The preacher's voice rang out, "Angels and true messengers of God do not cast shadows." That one sentence slipped through his defenses and lodged itself in his mind. The moment he found an opportunity, he sneaked out and fled. But the guards caught him. He was taken before the king, who ruled with strict justice. Now, the thief's father had taught him another rule. Never admit to stealing. No matter how much they question you, always deny it. So when the king looked him in the eye and asked in a firm voice, "Did you commit the theft?" the thief replied confidently, "No, Your Majesty, I did not." The king ordered him to be locked up and interrogated. But no matter how much they pressured him, he never confessed. In this kingdom, there was a law. No one could be punished unless they admitted their crime. The king and his advisors discussed the situation. One wise minister suggested, "Let's find out which saint or divine figure this thief worships. That will give us a way to uncover the truth." After investigating, they discovered that the thief was a devoted follower of Saint Mary. A plan was set in motion. A woman was chosen to dress as the saint, complete with flowing robes, a glowing torch, and an aura of divine presence. Late that night, eerie sounds echoed through the dungeon. The doors creaked open as if by supernatural force. The woman, dressed as the saint, entered, bathed in flickering torchlight. The thief woke up with a start. His breath caught in his throat. The very saint he worshipped was standing before him. Falling to his knees, he gasped, "Oh, Holy Mother, you have appeared to save me. I bow before you." The disguised woman spoke. "My child, tell me the truth. Did you commit the theft?" At that moment, the thief noticed something. The light from the torch cast her shadow against the wall. A chill ran down his spine. He suddenly remembered the words from the sermon, "Angels and true messengers of God do not cast shadows." In that instant, he understood. He was being deceived. He stood up and said boldly, "If I had committed the theft, wouldn't you already know? What need would there be to ask?" The guards, listening from outside, had been waiting for his confession, but now they were convinced he was innocent. The next day, the thief was brought before the king and, with great honor, was set free. As he stepped out of the palace, he reflected on what had happened. Just one sentence from that sermon saved my life today. If hearing the truth once could change so much, imagine what would happen if I listened every day. From that day on, he abandoned his life of crime and set out on a new path. In life, we often run from uncomfortable truths, just as the thief avoided places of faith. We justify our actions, surround ourselves with what feels familiar, and resist change. Even when deep down we know we're on the wrong path. We all have habits, mistakes, or past choices we hesitate to confront. But when faced with truth, we have two choices: deny it and remain trapped in old patterns, or embrace it and transform. No one is beyond redemption. Real change begins the moment we stop running from what we know is right. If you believe in the power of truth, comment, "I choose truth," and share this story with your friends.